It is now becoming clear that the handshake is about 2022. Ruto's visit to Kabarak to see President Moi and what happened thereafter leaves no doubt in the minds of many Kenyans that the handshake is about 2022. It's now becoming clear, and observers of the Kenyan political scene seem agreed on two things. One, that the handshake is about 2022, and that Gideon Moi and a few other people who only a few years ago were not considered serious contenders for the presidency are assembling and could offer competition to hitherto established names. In this scheme of things, Deputy President William Samoei Ruto doesn't appear to be the person Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga have in mind for 2022. It's also becoming clear by the day that many observers and indeed the schemers of the handshake believe that Ruto is minced meat, that he's no match to the combined forces of Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta. That although William Ruto has some money, his money and resources would be no match to the old money of the established families. He's a novaurish against established big money. So, in summary, therefore, two things. That one, Uhuru and Raila don't have Ruto as a person for 2022 in mind. Two, that William Ruto is no match to this team of Uhuru, Raila, and now Gideon Moi. I have bad news for those people who think so, and more so for the Uhuru, Raila, Gideon team. Today I want to inform you that Gideon Moi, Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, you may be in for a surprise. So in this video today, I want briefly to try and explain what I know and what I think will be the reason why William Samoei Ruto may actually win the presidency in 2022, thus becoming Kenya's 5th president. One, you've underrated him. And this is not a man to underrate. Even in football, and I'm sure Raila is good at this, when you underrate your opponent, sometimes you get disappointed. Two, you are going to make a number of blunders. The first major blunder was made at Uhuru Park on the 1st of May by Francis Atwoli, when he told Kenyans that Uhuru is too young to be discarded in 2022, that he will cause trouble to those who will take over power. I hope you know what people think about it today. It didn't resonate with people. People are very angry about that. And those are the kind of blunders you are going to make. The second blunder I'm sure you are going to make. Sooner than later, I know you are going to form some kind of power sharing. First, this is something many Kenyans are against. The two of you, by two of you I mean Raila and Uhuru, encourage the country from thinking about that, discourage the country from thinking about that. You made Kenyans believe Nusumukate is nowhere in your scheme of things. So Kenyans are justified if they reject this, but I'm sure you are going to have it. That alone, apart from Kenyans resenting, that alone will also create enemies within your camp. Because to introduce Raila people in the cabinet, you are going to remove certain individuals from that cabinet. To introduce Raila people in government, you will have to force out certain people. I am also sure among the people you will shuffle, either removing completely or changing to less lucrative ministries and departments, will be those allied to William Samoei Ruto. So people will also give Ruto sympathy votes come to 2022 because of that. Other blunders you are likely to make, I'm sure, will arise when you finally unveil your team. Your candidate for 2022, perhaps with a retinue of others, including the Prime Minister and his two deputies, will create more rifts within Jubilee. It will create resentment within NASA. And because of these blunders that might be necessary for you going forward, Ruto may just as well beat you in 2022. Ruto is also not a man, like I've said before, a man you can underrate in the manner in which some people are doing. He's a fighter, he's a hard worker, I've said this before, and he will have some Kenyans behind him who feels anaonewa. And because of that, he's likely to get a lot of votes in 2022. But for this to happen, the last advice to you, William Samoei Ruto, that is pro bono, is this. Learn how to be a Kalenjin from Gideon Moi. It is surprising that Ruto, who was brought up in the village, is less Kalenjin than Gideon Moi, who is an urban kid, who was brought up by Moi, different from the way Jomo Kenyatta brought up Uhuru Kenyatta to be a really Kikuyu young man. Gideon, who can't even speak good Kalenjin or good Swahili, seems to be a really Kalenjin. The Kalenjin, as I know them, I stay near them, are people who operate almost on the mafia principle of omerta, silence, mongen. The way you are running up and down, Ruto, showing panic, turn the other side and look at Gideon Moi. He has not even categorically stated he wants the presidency. He has not made any move. There are no major announcements from Gideon Moi about the presidency. You are drawing him into it. Learn from Gideon's father. For 12 years as the vice president, we are told he was humiliated, he went through a lot, and that's why he was called a passing cloud. You are the complete opposite of Gideon Moi and his father. This may be your undoing. But once you take care of that, stop Murkomen, stop Duale, stop Senator from Nandi talking on your behalf, sit back and watch. Wait and see. Let these fellows make blunders. You could just become the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya.